Hello scholars, welcome to your first high school level assignment. Today we are starting the writing process for high school and meeting those high school expectations instead of merely staying in 8th grade because as you know, in just a few short weeks you will be graduating. So what you are doing today is called a short constructed response. So obviously it's similar to a short response, but in high school they add the constructed in there. The big difference is that in high school, you use 3 pieces of evidence for a paragraph, whereas in middle school, you only use 2, as you guys know. So the assignment for today is to think about a character from one of our other units. The list is right here for you guys to see. And consider how would they respond if we plucked them, fully grown, out of their book and dropped them into the giver. How would Campbell react to being dropped into the universe of the giver? How would Michael Pollan, the author of Omnivore's Dilemma, react? How would Maria and Tom and Matthew and El Patron, how would they feel about being trapped in the giver universe? If they were in a plane crash and they ended up in this community, would they be successful or would they fail at integrating with that community? And we talked about this word integration before. It means to blend in. We talked about it with segregation, and we learned about the Little Rock Nine. But would they be able to blend in with this community, or would they have a lot of difficulty? So for example, today I'm going to be talking about El Patron. So the first direction is to select a character by bolding them. So bing, there we go. And then again, would this character succeed or fail at integration? So I'm going to think to myself, what is El Patron like? And I think he's greedy, he likes power, he likes money. That's probably not going to go well in the giver where everyone's basically the same and money doesn't exist. So down here, this is our claim and this is where we start to put it all together. So character, El Patron, from the House of the Scorpion, and technically that should be italicized, so we're just going to highlight that, go up to the slanty I, there we go, get rid of it, would fail in the Giver's Society because, and then that's where your claim goes. Why do you think your character would succeed or fail? And in this case, I think El Patron would fail because he likes power too much and he wouldn't be able to get along with other people. You know, he likes power too much. He wants to feel above others. If everyone's the same, he wouldn't be able to feel that. So that is what I am going to write in there. Because El Patron is power hungry, and he would want to rise above the others in the community. So that's my claim. Down here, this chart is meant to help you organize the rest of your short constructed response. So this column is for your evidence. The first example we're going to do together, but then after that you're on your own. How is it similar or different from your character's original society? And then why would the character succeed or fail while following this rule? So I said that he would fail. So over here, I'm going to make it say fail. Because to have a cohesive claim, all of your evidence have to connect. And if you forget to do that, down at the bottom here, there is a self-check to make sure that they match because you don't want to accidentally prove yourself wrong in the middle of your short constructed response. So here it says evidence from the giver. And there's a helpful hint. Look at your rules organizer. And this is a very helpful hint because you guys actually have 2 different organizers to find these 3 pieces of evidence. So you can go here to our early one, this colorful one here. This has 10 different rules that you guys wrote down. Or you could go to the more recent one up here. We also asked you to find more rules. So you have a lot of pieces of evidence to pick from. I'm going to use a piece of evidence from chapter 6. I have that copied and ready to go. But again, you're going to copy from your own work. So this evidence is from page 47. And it says, I heard about a guy who was absolutely certain he was going to be assigned engineer, Asher muttered as they ate, and instead they gave him a sanitation laborer. He went out the next day, jumped in the river, swam across, and joined the next community he came to. Nobody ever saw him again. So here, this is a large piece of evidence because you're just copying and pasting. So I'm going to bold the part that I'll end up putting in my short constructed response. So here, the fact that they're giving an assignment, that's the important part. So again, just highlight it and then click on the B at the top. So here, how is it similar or different from my character's society? So if I'm thinking about the fact that they assign careers in the giver, actually that's kind of in common with House of Scorpion. So that's what I'm going to write. This is similar to the House of Scorpion because El Patron has all the power and he is assigning people careers, right? He gets to decide who is an Egypt, who's in power, who becomes a senator, who is on border patrol. He assigns all the careers in his society, right? On the other hand, that does not mean that he would be successful in the giver, because if he just is on a plane crash that ends up in the giver, he's not going to be a leader in the giver's community. He's just going to be a regular person. And that's why I don't think he would do well in the giver society. That's why he would fail, because he's used to being the leader and he would not respond well to being told what to do or what career to have. So that's what I wrote for this one. He would fail at integration because he wouldn't be happy if his career was assigned to him instead. So far, we have our claim, we have our evidence, we have our explanation, and then we have our connection to our claim. You're going to repeat that 3 times, and then at the bottom, your self-check is again making sure that all 3 of these boxes up here match up. So if you said your character failed here, in this one and in this one, it also has to say that your character failed. Then we have our concluding sentence, and we've talked about this before, but your concluding sentence should be very similar to your claim. So to start, not to finish, but to start, I'm going to copy that claim right down at the bottom. So we have, ooh, that's annoying. I'm gonna move this up so it's all on one page. There we go. Okay. Overall, in summary, therefore, I'm gonna say overall, El Patron from the House of Scorpion would fail in the Giver Society because, and then this is the part where it says I have to change up the wording. That's what I have to do. So here, I'm going to say another word for power hungry is greedy. So I'm going to say because El Patron is too greedy to thrive, which means like to be successful, in a community where everyone is treated the same. Whoops. There we go. Okay, so here it's the same idea that he's going to fail because he wants to be better than everyone, but I just kind of flipped around that wording, okay? So once your organizer is done, then you put it all together in a proper short constructed response. A short response is not written as an organizer, and a short constructed response is also not written as an organizer. You have to put it in a paragraph. But the good thing here is that if you follow the numbers in the boxes, it will lead you through the process. So if you go all the way back up, number 1, what is your claim? Number 2, first piece of evidence. Number 3, background information. Number 4, connection to that claim. Over here, what's your next piece of evidence? What's your next explanation? What's your next connection to the claim? Down here, bam, last one. What is your last piece of evidence? What is your last background information? What's your last connection to the claim? And down here, number 11, then we put it all together in a conclusion. Of course, you're going to have to add transitions, and you're going to have to add things like on page 47, the author states. You guys know about that, so it's not exactly finished, but the organizer is definitely going to help you get there. And again, you do not have to pick El Patron. You don't even have to pick House of Scorpion. Up here, you are selecting your own character, and you are selecting if your character would succeed or fail. So you have lots of options for this assignment if you don't want to pick El Patron. You definitely cannot pick El Patron and use this example, okay? If you have any questions, of course, come to a Q&A, leave any comments down below, send us an email, send us a text. Otherwise, have a lovely afternoon and happy learning. Bye!